Well, hey there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rate the Record podcast, episode 140. Thank you very much for joining me today and hanging out and taking part in this review with me. Glad to see you here. My name is Chris. I'm your host, as always, sitting here, or standing here, I guess, in this studio full of posters, full of music to review, and full of you being here with me too, listening to this music, this album, these songs that I have to go through and everything like that. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me to do that. And just before we go any further, I want to remind you that if you like what you see and or hear today, there's one thing, a bunch of things, or all the things I'm about to list that you can do to help show your support for the show, and they are the following: like, subscribe, rate, share, comment, and follow. 6 quick, free, and easy things. Literally done right now, literally done at any point in the podcast, any combination of them, anyone at all. Please go ahead and do that. Show your support for the show. It means a lot to me if you would do that. More eyes and ears on the prize. I can always deal with something like that. And of course, you can find the places to do those things over at ratetherecord.ca. That is ratetherecord.ca. The streaming links, social media links, the RTR album chart to see where all the albums of the past have ranked. And of course, the RTR Club. Although it's not really a club to join anymore, there's no monthly tiers. It's just basically a one-off donation. You can donate how much you want, how often you want, if you want it all, because it's indeed optional, but the option's indeed yours. All of that found at ratetherecord.ca. So, while I was speaking, I was thinking to myself how fitting today is episode 140, because for this particular episode, we are taking a look at the 40th anniversary of The Cure's 1985 album, The Head on the Door. I'm sure a lot of people would agree that this album was kind of like the turning point in their career and everything like that. They've already been known to be kind of moody at this point, but then to open up more doors, different types of experimentation and everything like that started to definitely come through this album. So I thought it was pretty important to be able to take a look at this one, sit back and enjoy it as much as we can, of course. So before we actually get into reviewing the songs, let's talk, or let me tell you, I should say, a little bit about the album first. The Head on the Door is the 6th full-length studio album by goth rock and alternative rock band The Cure. It was released August 30th, 1985 through Fiction Records. The album was recorded at Angel Recording Studios Limited in London, England. As of this album, the band consisted of Boris Williams on drums and percussion, Lal Tolhurst on keyboards, Simon Gallup on bass, Paul Thompson on guitars and keyboard, and band founder and longest-serving member Robert Smith on vocals, guitars, and keys. Smith also produced the album alongside David M. Allen, who aside from The Cure has worked with the Sisters of Mercy, the Chameleons, the Psychedelic Furs, and many more. The album took shape drawing inspirations from many styles and different things, including the Susie and the Banshees 1980 album Kaleidoscope. Smith played live guitars for Susie and the Banshees from 1982 and 1984, as well as playing on their 1984 album Hyena. This project was The Cure's first successful international release and found mostly positive reviews across the board. AllMusic gave it a 4.5 out of 5, Blender, Mojo, and Spin gave it a 4 out of 5, among other reviews as well. It had 4 top 10 placements on the charts, including number 7 in the UK and Germany, number 6 in Australia, and number 3 in the Netherlands. It's been certified 4 times gold, once each in France, New Zealand, the UK, and the US. The album officially spawned 2 singles, In Between Days, which peaked at number 15 in the UK and certified 2 times gold, and Close to Me, which peaked as high as number 7 in Australia and went platinum in New Zealand and the UK, and gold in Italy and Spain. There you go, just a little bit more information about the album itself. I wish I had this one on vinyl. I still have some record shopping to do. I have a few Cure vinyls, but unfortunately not this one just yet. I have a feeling that's going to change very soon. But in the meantime, I actually have to get around to reviewing this actual album. So let's start it with these 10 songs that we got ahead of us. I know there's a bonus release with many other songs, but we're going with the original release. Remember, that's the rule for the show always. We're starting with song number 1, In Between Days. It fades away, so I pause the song. Song number 1, In Between Days, one of the first singles for this album. Such a really lively pace to kick off this entire album. Some really nice energy going in with this one, and really playful and warm feelings to the instrumentals too, so it's kind of a feel-good track to start everything off on, and considering what people know The Cure for, It doesn't exactly feel like a normal song to listen to, but I mean, listen further through their discography, and I'm pretty sure you'll see it's okay. Things sound like this sometimes. It's all good. I really like this one. I think it's a really nice way to start off the album. There's not too much beyond saying that, though, because the song is just under 3 minutes, at 2 minutes and 57 seconds, so there's not tons to talk about, but what you do get is quite packed in to that runtime. I like the speedy acoustic guitars, just the overall pacing of it. The strings are nice to kind of even and smooth everything out, so yeah, we have a good start to this album on our hands. And we will now continue to song number 2, Kyoto Song. Song number 2, Kyoto Song. So with this one, we're definitely getting a little more of that moodier side of The Cure that we're mostly aware of. I know in the last song I said it was like a little more warmer and bright, but yeah, this song definitely had that shadowy type of tone to it overall. And it's fitting considering that apparently this song is about, well, inspired, I should say, by a dream that Robert Smith had where he saw his wife die, drowning in a pool. And so obviously it's going to take a very dark tone with those types of lyrics. Good news, in case you didn't know, she didn't die in a pool at all. It was just a really bad dream. So there you go. It's all good at the very least. But yes, you can hear the moodiness of the song for sure. The vocals are so forward facing in this mix too, but honestly, I think it works well for a track like this. And especially with Robert Smith and his style of singing and everything like that, he rarely misses a punch when it comes to vocal delivery. And this song, I think, is absolutely no exception. It's performed wonderfully. I really like the chorus harmonies, too, as they come in. I think they're just done super well. There's a lot about the song that I really, truly do like. And just the instrumentals, too. I mean, like, they do have this kind of, like, brighter tone to them, very clean, but at the same time, they're all pushed back behind, like, this wall of fog and reverb. So it just gives it more of an air of mystery. And as I said, like, a shadowy, dark type of tone to it. But I like this one. It's very nice. It's I mean, as nice as a sad song can be. So we'll move on now to song number 3. Oh, look, it's not foreboding at all. It's just called The Blood. That's all. Ooh, nice little unfinished chord business there at the end of the song. Always a little mysterious and cliffhangery at the end there. I like that kind of stuff. Anyway, song number 3, The Blood. It's always really cool, no matter if I like it or not, when The Cure does a little more experimentation with different types of sounds and styles and everything like that. As I said, no matter what, even if I like them or not, sometimes it doesn't really land, but I think the flamenco styling in this one is really cool and it's pulled off really well, so I'm very happy to hear it. And the almost like, there's like a disco-y kind of feeling too. It's like obviously a very dancey track because you have these shakers that are going on in the background with a very 4-on-the-floor style of drumming. And just those combined kind of give it a disco-esque kind of style, so I thought that was pretty interesting too. Then you just pair all that with all the other instrumentals, and I think this song sounds pretty fantastic overall. Apparently this one's just simply inspired by a cheap Portuguese wine that Robert Smith was once given. And apparently, like, a lot of Portuguese workers apparently drink it because of how cheap it is, and so it's just kind of flowing through the city pretty freely. I don't know, this is just what I read. I don't really know the history behind it or anything like that. But the wine is essentially called Tears of Christ. So that's where you can see the imagery of the lyrics definitely fall in line with everything about the song. Also the blood, no blood of Christ and everything like that. So again, falls in line. And it doesn't help that Robert Smith grew up Catholic. As far as I'm concerned, he's an atheist now and has been for a long time, but he's very familiar with that whole, body of Christ type deal. I don't know. I wasn't really raised religiously, so I don't know too much about it. But other than that, the song, though, it's a really cool track. Very, very catchy, very bouncy, a lot of fun. So by all means, like a really good one to have on while you're doing absolutely whatever. It's very good stuff. Moving on to song number 4, a song that I forgot that I already knew, but I'll explain that in a minute. 6 Different Ways. Song number 4, 6 Different Ways. A very far more playful and friendly feeling song, especially as compared to like the last, well, I can't say the last top couple, but Kyoto Song definitely, but so far definitely like the bouncier, more friendlier one for sure. And it's got like a really cool 6/4 time signature going on to it, so I really like that. Then you get these super bright pianos and like other flamboyant kind of key and string layers sprinkled all throughout it too. And the extra little percussive layers too, just everything just feels very inviting. Everything feels well crafted in and everything like that. And as I mentioned just before the song started, like I knew that I heard the song a long time ago too. So if anyone remembers the movie The Rules of Attraction from around the year 2000, 2002, somewhere around the particular era, it sounds like a rom-com, but when you watch it, it is funny, but it's awfully depressing too, and just kind of like a breakdown of character, if you will. It's very interesting. I don't really know how else to explain it besides that. And I'm not a movie review channel, but I recommend checking it anyways. This song was in the beginning of that movie. That's why it reminded me, and I really like that movie, so it's all good. But yeah, I just want to throw that note out there real quick. But other than that, for the song, this one, it's pretty short too, only 3 minutes and 18 seconds. But I mean, I think the time of this track suits very well to what we get, because you get it just enough where it feels full and fun. Doesn't really overstay its welcome. It's well crafted completely. So yeah, this is just a really nice poppy little number that they have here. So enjoy it by all means. It's quite fun. And now we will move on to song number 5, Push. Pleasant little ending there. Song number 5, Push. Great flow to this one. Overall, I would say. I really like the way this one just moves through completely. The beat itself is pretty simple, but the instrumentation is just so lively and bright that I think it just mixes very, very well together. And it just feels nice to move through, as I already kind of like alluded to. Just it's just nice. I don't know how else to say. It just flows well. I can feel myself just getting caught up in it. I really do enjoy it. It takes more than half the track for the lyrics to kick in, but honestly, I think it was like a lot of fun leading up to that moment. I like the instrumentals, so then when we finally get that break of lyrics and everything like that and vocals, it just feels like the right time for it. It's all fun. Yeah, but it's a fun and energetic track for sure. Overall, I do enjoy this. Up there are some of my favorite riff work on the album, like for sure, like guitar-wise. So yeah, just a lot I enjoyed about this song, and I'm not even 100% familiar with it, so I'm glad I was able to come back around and check it out again, because quite honestly, I feel like I've been missing out on this one, for sure. With that said, we now move on to song number 6, The Baby Screams. Another fade out. So now I pause it. Song number 6, The Baby Screams. Please don't scream, my goodness. It causes a headache to everyone around. I just offended all the new parents out there. Sorry, I guess. Anyways, yeah, this is song number 6, The Baby Screams. I have no idea where I'm going with that. As for the song, though, I know where I'm going with it, because the energy of this song is still kept up from the previous one, too. Some good pacing going through this one. Some constant racing bass line that just kind of helps propel everything forward. So there's a lot to take out of that and a lot to enjoy. It just kind of keeps you going. It's still a decently engaging track, especially Robert's like very forward vocal performance in this one. Like he's hitting some of those higher tones, hitting them very strong, so it sounds very good. But the whole song itself kind of runs pretty similar all throughout, so it does tend to lose a little bit of its luster as it goes along. But again, that's just my opinion, so I don't know. After a while, it's just kind of like, okay, it's just kind of the same thing over and over at this point, so not much I'm taking away from this one. I will say, though, it's still a dancey little number. I won't take that away from it. It's still a decent track. I don't dislike it. I want to make that very clear. Sometimes I just take in these songs differently while I review them versus just listening to them, as most people casually do anyways. Very rarely does someone just sit down and critique a song or an entire album, pointing in my general direction right now. But again, this is just for the video. If this song came on while I'm just hanging out, oh, I won't mind. I'll enjoy it. I'll have fun with it because I don't have to think too deeply into it. So just understand that when I say these things about these types of songs or these types of bands, I know we've reviewed The Cure in the past. For episode 99, we did Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. As a review of that album, I wasn't super high on it, but as a casual listen through, it's easy. I can deal with it. I can deal with it. I can do it. That's what I'm trying to say. It's all good. Look at me making excuses instead of moving on to the next song. Song number 7, Close to Me. Just kind of going out on a fading breath right there. That's a little strange way to end it. So, song number 7, Close to Me. And realistically, I think this one's about as close to the title of the album as you can possibly get, a self-titled track, if you will, because he literally references the title of the album in the song like more than once. So, yeah, not quite self-titled song, but you could probably put it in parentheses if you really badly wanted to. Apparently the song is about like this impending sense of dread and doom that he had while he was growing up. And it's something that came back to him while recording this album. So, I mean, obviously you're going to want to fit it in somehow and name the entire album after it. So that's pretty sad, but what can you expect? It's The Cure, right? But it's funny though, because you take that theme into consideration, then you think about the juxtaposition of this song and you take those lyrics and you match it up with these bubbly, soft, bouncy little pieces of music that we have to accompany the entire thing. It's got like this air of like childlike innocence to it, which I guess makes sense because if he's referencing how he used to feel in his past while he was maybe a child, maybe a young boy, teenager, I don't really know. I didn't read that far into it. I couldn't find any of that information, just that he was young. So maybe just bringing that styling of making it sound childlike in a way, but still kind of adding that sense of dread to it. It fits. Thematically, it works. It feels a little strange, but I mean, that's the thing about juxtaposition. Sometimes you can find the best things in two very contrasting items, right? That's the whole purpose of it. I don't need to tell you that, though. I'm pretty sure you already knew. But anyways, more about the song. There's this stereo bouncing, too, going on in my headphones with the breathing that happens a lot in the song, the very rhythmic breathing. It's definitely unnerving, but again, I think that kind of goes along well with the anxiety overall of this track, so it's something that just adds a little more of that weird atmosphere to this eerily innocent sounding song, you know? So I like the mental imagery and storytelling that it's doing just through that alone. When I first wrote this review, I don't think I gave that part enough credit, but I just want to throw that out there now that I think I really enjoy that aspect of the storytelling. So good stuff. Good kind of world building in my head right there. It's just unfortunate that it's based on a true story. That's all. But it's fun in the sense of the instrumentals. It's catchy. It's very consistent all throughout, just like some of the other songs. But with that, this one does generally work pretty well, being just under, 3.5 minutes. It's 3 minutes and 23 seconds. So it does pretty well in that time frame. I enjoyed it. It's great. So now we'll move on to song number 8. Make sure it's completely back to the beginning. A Night Like This, which apparently counts as a single, kind of. I didn't say it in the beginning. This one never charted, though, and it didn't have like an official single release. That's why I didn't mention it, but some people might argue, so there's my kind of point to that. But yeah, song number 8, A Night Like This.
But I watch you like I'm made of stone as you once touched, and it's
Song number 8, A Night Like This. I'm really liking how this track picks back up with the guitars and the bass a little more. I mean, you got a bit of a crunchier guitar, so that sounds pretty cool. I love the riffage in this one. It sounds fantastic. It feels a lot more whole and expansive as compared to the last few tracks that we've been getting, so it's actually quite welcome, especially this deep into the list. It's a moody piece, but it's definitely a livelier piece for sure, I would say. A bit of dread in its atmosphere, but I think that pairs nicely with the fact that apparently Robert Smith wrote this song back in 1976, a whole 9 years before this album dropped. He performed it while the band was still called Malice. The song was called like Passion something or other. I should have wrote that in the note. I apologize that I didn't. It went under a few names, but it appeared on the head on the door under the name A Night Like This. And apparently he wrote it while he was in the rain and upset. Now, think for a minute that considering Robert Smith is a man that does not consider himself goth, nor does he consider The Cure to be goth, that is a hell of a fitting aesthetic, don't you think? Being sad in the rain and writing a really dreary song sounds like a very goth thing to do, especially back in the fucking 80s. In 70s when it was like proto-goth, like, it's there, everything there, the elements are there, it all works. And so, like, love it or hate it, sir. I mean, this is what people will see and this is what people will hear. They will take it in as their own, and if they want to call it goth, then so let them do it. And I mean, look at the poster behind me. Pale ass skin, messy ass hair. He's one of the most iconic goth looks there are, aside from like Susie Sue. So I mean, like, I don't know. I've always found it weird that he's always said that. But regardless, I digress. I'm just kind of going off on a tangent. Back to the song. It is a solid track through and through. I really like this one. It's great, well composed, catchy, everything like that, well performed. Just generally great stuff. I really do enjoy this song. It's too bad that this one never officially charted. I feel like it should have. Well, we're almost done. We're on to song number 9 now, and it's called Screw. Do indeed, Robert. Song number 9. Screw. Crew. Sorry, that was an awful joke and I regret doing it, but I'm going to leave it in anyways for a punishment to myself. Song number 9, Screw. The first thing I got to point out, you've been on this podcast before, and if you have, you'll know immediately where the hell I'm going with this. Wow, that grimy bass line, huh? I have that in all caps on my notes. I mean, it's just this really raw sounding, just mucky tone, but I think it's so damn cool. And if you're new to the podcast, if you haven't like listened in or watched before, hello, I'm your resident distorted bass horror. I usually love these types of tones and sounds and everything like that, so I'm just here to tell you I approve of this one. I think it sounds really goddamn cool. And speaking of really goddamn cool, the beat is also really cool with this one. Everything about the song just flows so nicely. You have like these cleaner and airier layers just kind of like really filling in the spaces really nicely. But then, yeah, those mucky layers just added to it, just add a bit more of that aggressive charm to everything. So I really, really dig that. Just having a fun time with the song, way more than I thought I was going to. So good stuff. And it's really short too. I mean, we're talking 2 minutes and 38 seconds. So everything in the song fits. It doesn't go overboard with anything. A nice punchy track that did everything it needed to in such a short amount of time. So I absolutely respect the hell out of it. With that, we move on to the final song in the album, song number 10. It's called Sinking.
Like everybody else, I crouch in fear and wait.
A very expected, a very typical fade from The Cure. Song number 10, the final song on the album, Sinking. This one has a great bass groove in this. I think it's great. I mean, it's the same riff over and over again, but it sounds so cool. It fits so well with everything that's happening. Definitely one of the outliers of the track for sure. There's a lot of spacey atmosphere in this one too, so I'm really, really digging that. And again, quite moody given that the song is essentially about the idea and fears of getting older and feeling like your best years are behind you. And to that I say, hey, great. Thanks, Robert. I mean, I'm 36 and I'm trying not to think about that kind of stuff, so the reminder's always a nice kick in the dick. Thank you very much, sir. Really needed it today. But anyways, I'm just joking around. I digress. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. This song is nearly 5 minutes long, one of the longer ones, if not the longest one on the album for sure. I honestly don't feel the time that much, though. I think this one is paced very, very well. It gradually picks up as it goes towards the end, so you're getting more of a building out of it. You're getting a lot more to kind of enjoy, and then it kind of slowly starts to fall back down. And ultimately, just the entire thing feels like a really rewarding listen, so I was actually quite impressed with how much I really did like this one. Like, I knew in the past that he did, but it wasn't until I really sat down with this, listened to it, that I was like, wow, this is a really good song. So, again, glad to be able to come back to this album, hear this one again for the first time in a while, and just, yeah, really appreciate the hell out of it, huh? And with that, I guess I've appreciated the entire album because I can take these headphones off now, these creaky ass headphones, which say goodbye to these headphones. I'm not going to wear them in the next episode. They creak a lot while I speak. It bothers the hell out of me. It probably comes through on the mic. I have to wear another pair of headphones that I have, but I digress. That is the end of The Cure's The Head on the Door. Solid album all the way through. You're going to find out more about that in just a second. But yeah, a hell of a lot better than I ever had originally given credit for. So yeah, I mean, I'll eat my hat, I'll eat my shoe, whatever you want me to eat. It's all good. Yeah, solid album. You can hear a lot of that atmospheric work really starting to build in. That would eventually be like the prominent feature in one of my absolute favorite Cure albums and one of the most popular Cure albums, period, Disintegration, which, yes, I will eventually be covering on the show. It is quite a long album, though. The songs are sprawling, so I need to be able to sit down and actually write the review for that because it can get very difficult with very, very long songs. But I intend to one day. But for now, we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Head on the Door, so it's all good. And with that said, it's actually time to get rid of Spotify off the screen so I can step over here, point this way, and say, oh, look, the numbers showed up. 1 through 10 are on the screen right now. It's time to rank the songs. And you got to cut the cake however you want to cut the cake, from worst to best, not so great to great, least favorite to favorite. However you decide to cut that cake and word it and everything like that, please go ahead and do that. The plates are over there. The utensils are over there. Napkins are over there too, so just go ahead, cut up that cake. Let me know when you're done, because I got to cut up my own first, so maybe you can stick around and listen to that at the very least. So let's get it started then, shall we? Song number 10, The Baby Screams. Number 9, Close to Me. Number 8, In Between Days. 7, 6 Different Ways. 6, The Blood. 5, Kyoto Song. 4, Push. 3, Screw. 2, yeah, they're both 10, by the way. Sinking comes in at number 2, and of course, A Night Like This comes in at number 1. As much as I loved Sinking, and like as much as I really appreciated that song more than I ever had in the past, A Night Like This has still always kind of like stood the test of time with me. I really, really love it. But yeah, like 2 10s right at the top of the list there. Definitely, absolutely deserved. As you can see the numbers here, nothing goes under 7 on this one. It's a fantastic album. It really is. So taking these scores for half a second, because now they're gone. If you're listening to the audio only version, I'm sorry for the sudden gap of silence there. Maybe watch the video version. But I digress, because the Rate the Record thing is now above my hand, I think. I can't remember where the graphic is. It's like up here somewhere. Yeah, anyways, it's there. Hi. Time to actually rate the record, you know, the namesake of the show. I showed you the scores. I've been praising this album. I've been saying what I like and maybe don't like about it. But overall, this turned out to be a very solid project, and I think it's very worthy of the A tier, sitting at a dead even 84%. And I would like to note that not only at the point of this episode is this album breaking the top 10 on Rate the Record, but it's the only album that currently sits with an 84 rating. Like 84 point, like whatever other number, the decimal point, there is no 84 number. So this is the very first time in 140 or 141 if you count the A and B episodes we did in the beginning. We don't talk about that. It's the first time we ever had an 84% album. So hey, first time for everything. That's fantastic. And I'm glad that it's The Cure's Head on the Door. Happy 40th anniversary. Well deserved. And I cannot wait to eventually do Disintegration, because you know I can tell you right now, it'll go above this album for sure. It's my favorite. It's great, but that'll come in time. I want to space that one out a little bit. And I also want to get these words off the screen so I can end the episode. So thank you very much for joining me, hanging out, and listen to this album. And if you did indeed listen to this album with me, do me a favor down in the comments below of wherever you're listening, because there's comment sections literally everywhere. Make sure that you're telling me your opinions on this album too. Did you like this album? Did you hate it? How would you rate it? How would you rank it? Do you agree or disagree with me? You know, like, what's your favorite Cure album? Like, all this and more, let me know down in the comments below. I'm always super curious to know these things. I'm not just saying this as engagement bait. I'm actually genuinely curious about these things, because this is what this channel's all about. It's music commentary. I'm giving you mine. I want to hear yours. That's how this whole thing works. And remember that you can find all the places to do those things and see the scores of everything that I do over on ratetherecord.ca. That is ratetherecord.ca. streaming links, social media links, the album chart, which you'll now see where this album will appear. It's quite high up there. It's in the green zone, just in case you're looking for it. And of course, the RTR Club, if you want to financially support the show. It's optional, but the option's indeed yours. Again, found at ratetherecord.ca. Ooh, okay, got this all out of the way. We are all good now. So next time you see me for the podcast, it's going to be episode 141. I thought about whether or not I should tell you who it is. I'll tell you who it is, but I won't tell you the album. How about that? We're going to be looking at Fiona Apple. She's making her RTR debut. It's something that I've had her on the list previous times, even dating back as far as season 4. But it just keeps getting pushed because of one thing or another. But I'm kind of sick of pushing her albums like away further down. It's time we finally get into it. So I'm glad to be bringing Fiona Apple around to the show. It's not going to be necessarily the week after this episode comes out. I'm going to space out a little bit. I've just done 2 weeks in a row and I have other things going on. So excuses aside, you'll get the episode when you get it. Give it a couple of weeks. It's all good. It'll be there and it's going to be fantastic. In the meantime, make sure that you go watch the other content that you may have missed. And of course, as always, go listen to even more awesome music. Take care, friends.